In 1990s India, even as cable television began its rapid expansion, Sunday mornings remained the exclusive domain of Doordarshan. The entire country tuned in for a Japanese anime that reinvented the jungle. Its protagonist, Mowgli, was no longer a literary figure. He was the Jungle Karaja, a household name for a new generation. But the show's iconic theme song almost didn't happen. When the original composer quit at the last minute, a young Vishal Bhardwaj was called in to write and record the track in a single weekend. The trouble started when Doordarshan executives heard the lyrics. They immediately pushed back against the word chuddi, or underwear, claiming it was inappropriate for a national broadcast. The lyricist, Gulzar, refused to change a single syllable. He told the executives their own minds were filthy, arguing that a boy in a chuddi wasn't scandalous. He was as innocent and natural as a blooming flower. Gulzar's defense of that innocence is exactly why this version of the character resonated so deeply. It cemented Mowgli as a symbol of pure childhood liberty. However, this wholesome image acts as a veil, obscuring a documented historical nightmare. To find the source of that nightmare, we have to look back to 1894 and the author who first brought this world to the page, Rudyard Kipling. Kipling pulled from ancient Indian fable texts like the Panchatantra to build the world of Seoni, a place where animals spoke and lived by a rigid social order. In the books, Mowgli is the personification of the law of the jungle. He is a figure of duality, a boy who possesses the instinct of the beast and the tools of the man. But this narrative of a child finding a family in the wild was a creative reconstruction. It was a sanitized version of real, deeply tragic events that were unfolding across India. During the 19th century, British officials in India, including Sir William Sleeman, documented grim accounts of wolf children living in the dense jungles of Uttar Pradesh. Among these cases was a boy found in the 1860s named Dina Sanichar, the real-life figure who would serve as the primary inspiration for the Mowgli legend. Dina's discovery was a scene of violence, not wonder. Hunters tracked a wolf pack to their den and used fire to smoke them out. As the animals fled, the hunters shot the female wolf that was protecting the pack, only to discover a human boy huddled beside her on all fours. The boy was captured and sent to the Sikandra orphanage, where missionaries began a systematic attempt to force him into the mold of human civilization. Unlike the fictional Mowgli, Dina didn't have mentors or protectors. His entry into our world was a traumatic event that severed him from the only family he knew. While the cartoon Mowgli sings and speaks fluently, Dina Sanichar never mastered human language. He spent his entire life communicating through the same grunts and animal sounds he learned in the den. His physical transition was just as painful. He refused cooked food, preferring to eat raw meat, and gnawed bones to sharpen teeth. Even after years of effort, he never learned to walk upright with any degree of comfort. There was only one human habit Dina successfully adopted during his years at the orphanage: a heavy and persistent addiction to tobacco. This habit likely contributed to his early death. Dina Sanichar died of tuberculosis at the age of 29, having spent the majority of his life in a facility. Dina's story reveals the crushing reality of feral children. They don't find a place in the jungle or in the village. Instead, they exist in a tragic limbo, exiled from nature, but never fully accepted by humanity. There is a massive gulf between the short, isolated life of Dina Sanichar and the immortal, thriving pop culture icon we know today. Victorian literature acted as a lens, taking the painful facts of feral children and turning them into a narrative of integration. A century later, animators removed the remaining darkness, transforming a story of trauma into an artifact of childhood joy. For modern audiences, Mowgli is a collective vision of resilience and harmony. He is an aspirational figure who represents our desire to be at home in a world that is often hostile. The image of the innocent boy blooming like a flower isn't an accurate biography of Dina Sanichar. It is a final act of cultural wish fulfillment, a way to use storytelling to give a lost child the community, love, and dignity he was never allowed to have in real life.